So he said, okay, now he said, Durvasa cursed Indra that, okay, you are so blinded by your pride, therefore you are going to lose all your opulence and everything will be gone. So immediately what happened was Lakshmi Devi, she withdrew from the Devas and Indra lost everything. He lost his strength, he lost his auspicious, everything was gone. He became very weak, right? Because Lakshmi left, Lakshmi became invisible, right? Now Lakshmi is not there. So Asuras started rising, okay, and Asuras took over. So the Devatas, they all went to Brahmaji, and then they went to Lord Vishnu, and then they requested Lord Vishnu for a plan. Then Lord Vishnu told them that, okay, he said he did not immediately give them the nectar. He could have said, okay, take this nectar, Amrita, over, finish. No, he didn't say that. He said, you all have to do one project now. Okay, he said that the thing is, there is this Kshira Sagara. Okay, there's a milk ocean. There's an ocean of milk. So in this ocean of milk, he said, you have to churn that ocean of milk. When you churn this ocean, this milk ocean, you will get so many things. You will get the nectar finally. Okay, that nectar will come, and Lakshmi Devi also will come. And then, you'll get your kingdom back. Then they will all ask Lord Vishnu that, okay, how can we do this project? He says, for this you need the help of the Asuras also. You'll have to collaborate with them. Then they will be surprised. How should we collaborate with these Rakshasas or the Asuras? Right? So how should we? I mean, I don't think we'll be collaborating with the enemies, right? But Lord Vishnu says it's a strategy. Okay, you have to sometimes even collaborate with your enemies, right? So he said you have to cooperate with Asuras. So it is like a lesson for them, right? To swallow their pride. It's also a lesson of diplomacy. Okay, it is also about timings. Timing. It's a timing. Okay, divine timing. So Lord Vishnu is perfect. He's showing like a perfect manager. It's a perfect. A manager should be in the Sattva Guna. Lord Vishnu is the best manager. I mean, we should be very happy about it because this whole world is not having a bad boss, right? How many of us don't like bad bosses, right? But we have a very, very good boss, right? The Supreme Lord Vishnu. So he's our boss. So therefore he's so kind. So, but kind doesn't mean foolish. Is very strategic. Okay, he's extremely intelligent. Krishna, the most intelligent, right? He's got this. That's one of his opulences. Buddhir buddhimatamasmi. So that's what happened. And finally, the Devatas and Asuras, the Devatas went to the Asuras and they said, we'll have to work together for this. And they said, what is it for us? Why should we work with you? We already have the Swargaloka. They said, don't you want the Amrita? There is something called as ambrosia, Amrita. If you take that Amrita, you will live forever. You will not die. Okay, but of course the Devatas, they live only up to one Manu, lifetime of one Manu. That is 1/14 of the span of day of Brahma. But even that is a very big, right? I mean, for us it is like forever only, isn't it? So that Amrita will give them opportunity to live for so long. So Asuras also says, yes, we also want the Amrita. Let's do it. So they go to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu gives a plan that you should take this. There's a huge mountain called Mandara, and then there is a rope that is required for churning. Right? See, for churning, what do you require? You need that axle, right? And then you require a rope. Correct? That's how Yashoda does the churning, right? So, and then you need milk to churn. Correct? So that milk is the milk ocean, and this Mandara Parvata is the axle, right? And now they need a rope. That rope is Vasuki. Vasuki is a very big snake, right? In Bhagavad Gita just now also we saw Krishna was saying, among Sarpanam Vasuki. So among all the snakes, Krishna is saying, I'm Vasuki, the biggest snake, Vasuki. And that is adorned by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, it's like Lord Shiva wears that Vasuki on his shoulders, right? So this Vasuki, they take that Vasuki. And then they start the churning, right? And when the churning starts, right? So one after the other, the different items start to come out of it. Okay. So different items come out of it. Uchchai Shrava. There is a horse that comes out, Uchchai Shrava. And Lakshmi Devi also comes out of that. And then Hala Hala, that is poison, also comes out. So when the poison comes out, everybody is wondering what should we do now. So Lord Vishnu says, go and request Lord Shiva, take shelter of Lord Shiva. Then they all go to Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva, he says to Parvati Devi that I want to please Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu gets pleased when we serve everybody. So I want to save the whole world for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, and he takes that poison. Okay, and he stops it here. That's why his name is also called Nilakanta, right? And everybody becomes very happy. Everybody is saved by that Hala Hala Visha, and so a part of it is given to these snakes and all. That's how they get the poison and all, right? So and then one thing very interesting is to churn there must be some base, no? So what is the base for this churning? Anybody knows what is the base for the churning? Huh?
Kurma Avtara.
Kurma Avatara. So Kurma is like Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu is there, and he comes as the Kurma Avatar, and he takes three avatars will come here. See, Lord Vishnu is there present personally, managing that project. He's the project manager, right? And then Kurma is there, right? And also later he comes as Mohini, right? So it is said, it's very nice, when that gigantic Mandara Giri, that Parvata was being put on Kurma, and they were churning it, Lord, as Kurma, he was getting a nice itch, right? So for example, sometimes grandfathers, or when they get itching on the back, they'll call children, right? Itch, and they'll say, okay, scratch, scratch, scratch. You scratch more, they'll say, very nice, very nice, continue. Like that, Lord was feeling very happy. It was very nice. That scratching of that mandara was very nice for him, right? It is said Kurma. So that Kurma Avatara, right, of the Lord, when he is breathing in and breathing out, right? So even today we have the ocean waves, the waves of the ocean. So the wave comes in and then comes out. So this is the representation of that Kurma's breathing in and out. So how that Kurma, gigantic tortoise, is breathing. Okay, Lord. Okay. Then Lakshmi Devi comes. Lakshmi Devi comes and she starts to examine everybody. Now Lakshmi Devi has come as the daughter of this Samudra. Right? So he's come as a Lakshmi Kshira Samudra Rajatanaya. Right? Srirangadhameshwari, we say, right? So she has come now. Now she has to find somebody suitable for her. Now she's going and seeing, it's like Swayamvara, right? So she goes and sees all the devatas. She sees Lord Brahma, she sees Lord Shiva, she sees everybody, and she decides, okay, who's the best among them? And then she finds Lord Vishnu, and then she marries Lord Vishnu. And then the wedding of Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi takes place. Okay? And then finally the nectar comes. So after the nectar comes, again there is a big trouble now, because these people, they stop behaving in a civic way. These asuras, they grab that nectar and run away, because the nectar has come finally. Now what should be done now, right? So all the devatas take shelter of Vishnu, and Vishnu comes as Mohini. Mohini looks so beautiful, and the most beautiful. Krishna is the source of beauty, right? So even today we have a Mohini Murti temple also. In the south, in Tamil Nadu, there is a Mohini Murti temple. There is a separate dedicated temple for Mohini Murti also. So on one day they will decorate Lord as Mohini. So she will come and she will say, Mohini Murti will say to the Devata, the Asuras, that they will all ask, who are you, beautiful woman? What are you doing here? She says, I don't have a husband. I'm an independent woman. So you can understand. So she speaks like that. So she says, my name is Mohini. Okay, it controls me. Okay, so I'm independent, she says. So and then she says, now I'm going to give the this ambrosia to the Devatas. They said, yes, yes, you, whatever you want to do, you do. They're completely mesmerized. So then she distributes that to the Devatas. And then the Rahu and Ketu who find out, right, there's one person, one of the Rakshasas comes in and he drinks a little bit and it comes to the throat. And then as soon as Lord Vishnu realizes, he sends the Sudarshana Chakra and cuts him into two pieces. But by the time, the ocean, nectar has already entered inside the throat, right? So that becomes Rahu and Ketu, right? It is said that some nectar also fell down on the earth. So that's why we do Kumbh Mela. When we do the Kumbh Mela, it is said that some of the nectar has also fallen down there. Wherever there is Kumbh Mela, it is like that. So that's what happens, right? So, and finally, the Rakshasas, the Asuras, they don't get any Amrita. They get some things, but they don't get the Amrita, the final one, right? So this is what has happened. So what is the connection here is that a lot of things now are going to be connected here. I'm going to show you now, okay? So first of all, a horse is known to be Uchchaishrava. This Uchchaishrava is a white color horse. Okay, Uchchaishrava, many stories around that. It's a completely white horse. Okay. So once the mother of the snakes and the mother of the birds, right, two wives of Kashyapa Prajapati, Kadru and Vinata, they have a bet that, the mother of all the snakes will say that the tail of this Uchchaishrava is black color. But mother of the birds, Vinata, she will say, no, it is not black, it is white. So just to win the bet, they will say, okay, whoever wins will become the master, the other person has to become a slave, like that. So what this Kadru or the mother of the snakes will do is, she will paint Uchchaishrava's tail to be with black color. And she will win the bet. And therefore, the mother of all the birds becomes the slave of the mother of the serpents. Okay. And later, what happens is, Garuda is born to the mother of the birds. So when Garuda comes, right, he will come and he will bring the nectar and he will, get her mother released from the bondage of Kadru. And Lord Vishnu becomes very pleased because you have done such a nice service to your mother. Lord Vishnu becomes very pleased and says, you become my vehicle. That's how Garuda becomes the vehicle of Lord Vishnu, right? So we'll be talking about Garuda also, okay? So Uchchaishrava is the horse, is the best among the horses, very beautiful horse. So at that time it was taken by Bali Maharaj. Okay, I'm not sure who has it right now. So produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar of lordly elephants. I am the Airavata. Okay, Airavata also we spoke about Airavata. Okay, that's a big, huge elephant of Indra. And among the men I am monarch. So this is very important. Naranam cha naradhipam. Bhagavad Gita says the king is the representative of Krishna. Now, whether we like the king or not, we should respect, because he is the representative of Krishna, right? It's very interesting. One of the pastimes of what happens is Rupa Goswami, right? Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were ministers of Nawab Hussain Shah, right? So at that time, Nawab Hussain Shah was the king of Bengal, Odisha and all of that, right? So even though he is not a Hindu, right? This Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami had great respect towards the king. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the king is the representative of Krishna. Okay, doesn't matter who he is, he's representative of Krishna. So they used to be very respectful. So when Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, what happened was Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were very nice Brahmanas, Saraswata Brahmanas. That means who shifted from the Karnataka belt. Okay, but later what happened in Bengal, because of the Islamic rule, right? They were serving the king there, Nawab Hussain Shah. And they have been given even the Muslim names also. Okay, Sakar Malika and Dabir Khasa. They were great ministers. They were expert in Sanskrit, expert in Urdu, Persian, so many languages. They were expert. They were very intelligent. But once they came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come here, they decided to give up everything and surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because by the time what happened was, because they were working for this Nawab Hussain Shah, they were, what do you say, sent out of the, I don't know, I forgot the correct word. You know, when you, what do you say?
Outcast, yeah, probably.
Outcast, yeah, there's some word for that, right?
Prosecute.
What is that?
Prosecute.
Not prosecute. I mean, when a caste people, they give up, that you are out of,
Abandoned type.
not exactly abandoned. I'm not getting the right word.
Outcast, okay.
Some like that, they give up because you are working for that Islamic king. Don't come with us. We consider that you are not even our caste. That's all. Like that. That was their position at that point of time. But when they heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they decided to give up everything away. They had a very good position as ministers. They decided to give everything away and surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they surrender completely. They take a straw in the mouth and then they surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and say, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we want to completely surrender unto you. That's it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am accepting you. Then they become very happy. They feel, how are you accepting us? We are so fallen. You are so merciful that you are accepting us. We have been completely outcasted. And we are working for this Nawab Hussain Shah, but you have accepted us. Right? So they become very happy and they give up and they decide, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs them to go to Vrindavan and write literature. And he says, find out the places of Vrindavan, research. He says, they are the group of researchers. He says, you have to research about Vrindavan, research about the bhakti topics and write books. That is the instruction given. And another instruction is, find out all the areas of Vrindavan, lost areas of Vrindavan where Leela Stali, all different pastimes which were performed by Lord Krishna, and then find out and tell everybody, tell the world. So, yeah, ostracize is the correct word. Correct, Mataji. Ostracize is the word. So, but the problem is now they're ministers. Okay, the king is very busy in doing a lot of, invasions. And these ministers are who are actually taking care of the kingdom. But now if this Dabir Kasa and Sakar Malika, that is Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, later, if they leave the kingdom, how is the king going to run the show? But somehow they escape and they run away. Somehow they go. The king also will tries his best to stop them. He says, you cannot go. Okay, I will arrest you, and he will arrest them also. But somehow, they give some bribe to that person who is there inside the prison, and they escape from there. And then finally, they go to Vrindavan. So then Nawab Hussain Shah will leave them. Okay, so that's what happens. So yeah, so at that time also, the mindset, the mood of Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami also, when Nawab Hussain Shah says, they were very respectful towards Nawab Hussain Shah. Why I am saying is because the king is, whoever it may be, king is the representative of Krishna. Olden days there was very nice kings there used to be, of course, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Rama, great kings were there. Okay, but whoever it may be, king is a representative of Krishna. So bad kings should be removed. Like there was a king called Vena. Okay, this king Vena, he was in a very nice dynasty, okay, of kings, right? But unfortunately, this Vena was very wicked king. It comes in Bhagavad. He used to kill people. When he was a small boy also, he used to kill people. Such a wicked king. So what happens is the Brahmanas, who are the saintly people who come there, and then they will curse that king and they will kill him with the curse. So the thing is, the saintly people are supposed to make sure that the king is very good. Otherwise, in the earlier days, they used to have so much of power that if they curse, the king will also die. And from Vena came Prithu Maharaj. Okay, that's the story of Prithu Maharaj. Okay, so that's how all these stories are connected. Yeah, so among the men, I am the monarch. Okay, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Rama. So even today we remember Rama Rajya, right? The kingdom of Lord Rama. And Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom also is described in the Bhagavatam very beautifully. It is said during the Yudhishthir Maharaj kingdom, then there was never a famine. It never used to be too hot or too cold. There were no diseases at all. Okay, and the rains were coming on time. just sufficiently, right? Earlier days, when there used to be a very nice king, how the rain will be coming. Rain will not disturb anybody. It will only rain in the night. In the Satyuga, you don't even have to, for cultivating vegetables, you don't even have to put seeds. Automatically crops will come. In Treta, you have to put the seeds, it will come. In Dwapara, it is little bit more difficult. In Kali Yuga, what is the situation?
You have to
Agriculture
put
system.
pesticides and
You have to put
insecticides.
insecticides, pesticides, fertilizers, and some chemicals, right, to make it come.
Even if it grows, the flood will heat up.
Yes. And what about the rains? Are they coming on time? What about diseases? Is everybody free of diseases now?
The more hospitals than temples.
Yeah, there's so many hospitals. There's so many. I mean, we had this COVID wave, right? So many epidemics, pandemics, different pandemics, epidemics, wars. Wars is normal. Wars are always there. Wars is not very unnatural. But having this weather disturbances, global warming, right? Excessive taxation, people not being happy, okay, people not being satisfied, people being very destitute in the kingdom. These are all very, and children dying at a young age, or even people dying before 100 years of age, before their complete age completes. These are all signs of bad kings. That means the kingdom is under irreligious principle. So based on that, we can understand. So that's why here it says Naranam cha naradipam. So king should be perfect. Ayudhanam aham vajram, dhenunam asmi kamaduk, prajanam chasmi kandarpa, sarpanam asmi vasuki. Translation and third part, anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhuji. 1 minute. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of weapons I am the thunderbolt, among cows I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents I am Vasuki. Purport: the thunderbolt, indeed a mighty weapon, represents Krishna's power. In Krishna Loka, in the spiritual sky, there are cows which can be milked at any time, and they give as much milk as one likes. Of course, such cows do not exist in this material world, but there is a mention of them in Krishna Loka. The Lord keeps many such cows which are called Surabhi. It is stated that the Lord is engaged in herding the Surabhi cows. Kandarpa is the sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representative of Krishna. Sometimes sex is engaged only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna. But sex for the generation of good children is called Kandarpa and represents Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes. So Vajranam, Ayudhanam aham vajram. Now there is a story for Vajra also. Vajra means it is the weapon of the Indra, of Indra. Now how was it made and what is its backstory? All of that is again given in the Bhagavata. So it all started, okay, this Vajra, Ayudha, it all started when all when Brihaspati left the kingdom, right? Because he was not respected by Indra properly. Brihaspati was the guru of the Devatas. He's a priest of the Devatas. But whatever respect that they were supposed to give to the guru, to the spiritual master, they did not give the respect to Brihaspati. And Indra was casually sitting when his spiritual master came. So Brihaspati left from there. So because Brihaspati left, the Devatas attacked the Devatas were being attacked by the demons, and they were defeated. So they didn't have a guru. So they were wondering what is the problem. They realized that they didn't have a spiritual master. They didn't have the spiritual strength. So for that, they took shelter of one Brahmana called as Vishwarupa. Right? So they went to Vishwarupa. There's a Brahmana called Vishwarupa. They went to him and said, "You become our spiritual master." And Vishwarupa was having family connection with the Devatas and the Asuras both. So he was having soft corner for both. So he became the head priest for the Devatas and he was doing the yajnas. But when he was giving offerings, he was silently offering and giving it to the demons also, that offerings. So when the Devatas saw it, they became very angry and Indra beheaded Vishwarupa. Can you imagine? Vishwarupa is a spiritual master. He is a Brahmana, right? They have accepted as spiritual master, isn't it? They said, okay, you are our spiritual master, please do it. And he's a Brahmana. And Indra has killed Vishwarupa. He cut his head. So now what happened was, because of that sinful activity, it was a grave sin for Indra, right? So he had to do a lot of things to get rid of that sin. Right? And then what happens is that the father of Vishwarupa becomes very furious against the Devatas. Twashta, his name is. Thinks that my son has been killed unnecessarily by Indra. First of all, he was just doing his own work. Indra came here and said, you become our Purodasha. That is, you become our priest. You become our spiritual master, like that. And then now, he killed him. So I will kill this Indra. I am going to perform a fire sacrifice and I will ask for a son who is capable of killing Indra. So he performs a very powerful fire sacrifice and he chants a mantra. Indra Shatro Vardhasva, Indra Shatro Vardhasva. So, O enemy of Indra, grow strong, like that. But then what happens is he does a spelling mistake. He says Indra Shatrur Vardhasva, Indra Shatrur Vardhasva. One mistake is, instead of saying Shatru, he said Shatrur Vardhasva. So the meaning became, may the enemy of this being be Indra. May the enemy of this being Indra become very powerful. Something like that. The meaning changes. So when the mantra is uttered wrongly, the meaning will change. So we should be careful when you're chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra also, right? So I heard a joke once. It seems that Lokanath Swami Maharaj said that after chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we may find ourselves after dying in the Sarpaloka. Then why Sarpaloka? Because all the time we are hissing. So the snakes will think they're chanting our names and then go to Sarpaloka. So don't chant like that, okay? Chant carefully. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, distinctly. Mantra has to be chanted carefully. Of course, Lord is very, very merciful. He's Saragrahi, he takes the essence. Actually, it is said in the Shastras that there was a person who said, Om Vishnaya Namaha. Actually, in Sanskrit, it is wrong. It's supposed to be Om Vishnave Namaha. Vishnave Namaha is the right Sanskrit. But a person doesn't know. Just like Krishnaya Namaha, he said Vishnaya Namaha. That's wrong. But still, he was accepted by Lord Vishnu. So Lord is very kind. He will take the essence. But still, we should not make any mistakes while chanting. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at least. Krishna Mantra. But yeah, here it is this is a fire sacrifice, it is Karma Kanda. So it's more important, the person who is chanting the mantras has to correctly chant. This is a perfect example for that. You should not do any mistakes while doing fire sacrifice. That's why in Kali Yuga we cannot do fire sacrifices, because there is nobody who is perfect in chanting these mantras which are required by the fire sacrifices. And the purpose of this fire sacrifice is to test the mantras. They will do the fire sacrifice, they will kill that animal and then they will bring it back to life. So just to check that the mantras are working correctly. So if they've done everything correctly, chanted the mantras perfectly, the animal will die and get another birth. Immediately they will be able to see that the animal got a new birth. It will get a human birth next. They will be able to see that also. They will be able to revive that animal. But now if you kill, it's killed. That's it, finished. Nobody has the power to chant the mantras correctly. So then what happened? As a result of chanting the wrong mantra, a huge demon came out. Gigantic, blazing red eyes, copper colored hair, enormous body, roaring came out. His name is Rutrasura. Rutrasura in the past life he was Chitraketu Maharaj. If you remember, Chitraketu Maharaj was being cursed by Parvati for criticizing Lord Shiva. Okay, so he was given a curse that he will become a demon. So that Chitraketu Maharaj came as Vritrasura. So then Vritrasura, he was fighting with the demons, with the Devatas. He was very powerful and there was no way to kill him. He was so gigantic and so powerful. So Indra, he asked for advice and he got the advice that you need a weapon. Okay, he asked, okay, where can I get this weapon? Is there any person who can manufacture this weapon? He said, this weapon is the backbone of a great sage, Dadichi. Then he is puzzled, how can I ask a sage for his backbone? That means he has to die. Then somehow he gets the courage and he goes to Dadichi, Rishi, and he says, Maharaj, I need one favor from you. Dadichi says, yeah, ask, what is that you want? Maharaj, I need to kill this demon. For that, I need one weapon. I was told that the backbone is required. Whose backbone? Your backbone. So you are saying I must die? Said, yes, Maharaj. Says, how can you ask like that? Is there anybody in the world who will give like that? How are you expecting that me? I will sacrifice my life and you will be able to take my backbone, right? And then he says, he requests, and then he says that Datiji says that, see, for me, I was just simply testing you. I don't even care about my life. I just want my, I want to be of some service to the Lord. That's it. If this is going to serve the Devatas and the Lord will be pleased, I don't have any problem giving up my life. So he gives up his life by the yoga Agni, and then his body is his backbone is taken as a Vajrayuda. Now this is Vajra. Okay, it's the Ayudanam Aham Vajra, and it is said Dhenu Nam Asmi Kamaduk. Kamaduk means Surabhi cow. So Goloka. Okay, so there are so many cows. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuto. You know, in the Golok Vrindavan, there are thousands of cows. Okay, the Surabhi cows. Okay, they are not ordinary cows. And from that Surabhi cow only, this cow has come. The cow, why is cow so sacred is because it belongs to the family of Surabhi. So Surabhi is a spiritual animal which is staying in the Golok Vrindavan. That's why cow is so sacred for us. Okay. And also the daughter is Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is Vasishta. We know so many stories are there around Kamadhenu, right? Kamadhenu can give anything that you want. So if anybody goes to the cow and asks anything, they get their desires fulfilled. Desire fulfilling cow it is. So it was there with Vasishta, and for that Vishwamitra fights, and there's a story around Parashurama for Kamadhenu, and there's so many pastimes around it, right? That is Kamadhenu. So this Surabhi also, we know in the Krishna pastime, you know which pastime Surabhi comes into picture? Anybody can say?
Govardhan Hill pastime.
Govardhan Hill pastime. So in the Govardhan Hill pastime, what happens when Indra, he offends the Lord and he comes to say sorry to the Lord, at that time he calls Surabhi also. Because when Lord sees Surabhi, he will become very calm, cool, happy. So that's why he brings Surabhi. So that Lord becomes pacified. So this is Surabhi. And it is said, Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha. Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha. Very important to hear this. Prajanaha. Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha. Very important. Prajanascha Asmi Kandarpaha. Prajana means the cause for begetting children. Praja means, you know, it means begetting children. Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpaha. So this sexual intercourse is not meant for pleasure. It is meant for begetting good children, Krishna conscious children. And in the Bhagavad it is said, Guru na satyat, Janani na satyat. That means a spiritual master or a mother or a father or a friend or a demigod cannot be called their positions. If they are not able to liberate their children or dependents, they are not supposed to be given that position at all. They should not even have children. So that is the thing. So that means to have Krishna conscious. Also Prabhupada also says, right? So if it is not Krishna conscious children, it is simply a burden on the earth. Right? He says, Sankara, Naraka. Sankara means, he says, population, he says some kind of population, Prabhupada says, right? So, some kind of useless population, Prabhupada says, there's some word he says. So, we should not be having that kind of children, but it should be having Krishna conscious children. So, Kandarpa is actually the desire, attraction. The purpose is to present good sons. I mean, that is how, if we see all the stories that we are saying, right? All the different stories which are given, Manvantaranu Katha of the son Manu. Okay, we are talking about Lord Vivaswan. Vivaswan had a son. Okay, and then Manu. And then Manu had Ikshvaku Maharaj. Ikshvaku Maharaj, next king. These are all Rajarshi, great kings, you see. They're all great, great kings. Rishabhadeva. Rishabhadeva had 100 sons. The first one was Bharat Maharaj. So all of them were great people. Okay. Of course, there is no, you don't need to separately tell them, be good, do good. They're already very good. They're very God conscious. They're very good. They're very duty minded. They're very detached. They're the best. They're very religious, basically. So that is the kind of lineage that our country has, right? So we have had Rajarshis. So great Rajarshis are there here, right? Who have ruled our country, right? So so of course we have had some people who are very, and what you say, very greedy and lusty kind of people who are using the money of the taxes to build monuments for their dead wives. There's some kind of kings like that also. That's a contrasting example, unfortunately. There are some kings who have killed their brothers and father also for the sake of kingdom. That is unfortunately, we are having such people who have come and ruled our kingdom. But originally our kings were so great. The Rajarshis were so great, right? So yeah, this is the thing. So here it is said, sometimes sex is engaged only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna, but sex for generation of good children is called Kandarpa and represents Krishna. Okay, let's go to the next one. Anantas chasmi naganam. Anantas chasmi naganam. Varuno yadasam aham. Pitrunam aryamas chasmi. Yamaha samyamatam aham. Ananta cha asmi I am. Naganam, of the many-headed serpents. Varunaha, the demigod controlling the water. Yadasam, of all the acmatics. Aham, I am. Pitrunam, of the ancestors. Aryama, cha asmi I am. Yamaha, I am the control of the death. Samyamatam, of all the regulators. Aham, I am. Of many hooded nagas, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of the departed ancestors, I am Aryama. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the death, the lord of death. Purport. Among the many hooded naga serpents, Ananta is the greatest, as is the demigod Varuna among the aquatics. Both represent Krishna. There is a planet for Pitas, ancestors presided over by Aryama, who represents Krishna. There are many living entities who give punishment to miscreants, and among them Yama is the chief. Yama is situated in a planet near this earthly planet. After death, those who are sinful are taken there, and Yama arranges different kinds of punishments for them. So this is very important. So first of all, Anantas chasmi nagana. Whom does it remind us of? Who is Ananta?
Shesha.
Ananta, Shesha, Balaram, right? So Ananta is the bed of the Lord Vishnu. Krishna.
Nityananda.
Yeah, Nityananda. First comes Krishna, right? From Krishna came Balaram. And this Balaram became Mahavishnu and all of that. So Mahavishnu and all the incarnations are actually coming from Balaram only. So, and for Lord Vishnu, wherever there's Vishnu, all the three Vishnus, they have a bed to sleep. And their bed is very comfortable bed, very different kind of a bed. This is the Ananta becomes the bed. He's trying to serve in such a different ways. We have to learn service attitude from Ananta, also called Shesha. Sheshanam. Shesha means he finishes off the pastimes. So whatever is remaining in the pastime, he will finish it. So he serves the Lord in so many different ways. We have to understand. So if Lord wants to sleep, he will become the bed. So if Lord wants to play, he will come as a brother, right? So if Lord wants to do anything, he will become the dham also, right? So he will also come as he will come as a sister of Radharani also. I forgot the name, Ananga Manjari or something, I think. So
Manjari, yeah.
yeah, he comes as one of the gopis also to give pleasure to Krishna. So in every way he wants to serve Krishna. So we have to understand how we should please the Lord Krishna from Ananta. And Ananta is very, 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 very dear to Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna and Nityananda Prabhu is Ananta or the Balaram. So a lot of times we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, please worship Nityananda. He says, please worship Nityananda. He's very dear to me. He's very dear to me. Always he says that. Please worship Nityananda, he says. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, if you want to come to me, you have to come through Nityananda Prabhu. We cannot skip Nityananda Prabhu. So he's so dear. Ananta is so dear to Lord Vishnu. That's what we have to understand. The next thing here is Varuna Devta. So what is the pastime of Varuna in the Krishna pastimes? I will tell you one pastime. So one day what happened? There was a Shivaratri. So Shivaratri was in the Vrindavan. Okay. So after that, so what happened was all the Vrindavan Vasis, right? They went for to one of the Prabhasa Kshetra or something where Lord Shiva's pilgrimage temple like that. They went. And next day, this king, Nanda Maharaj, he woke up a little early. Okay, he was supposed to wake up at generally at what time? 4 o'clock. That is a Brahma Muhurta. He woke up at the wrong Muhurta. Okay, there was no alarm clock, watch, etc. Right? So 2 a.m. he woke up and he went to take a bath. Okay, in that ocean. And Varuna, his servants caught Nanda Maharaj and took him away. So he was shouting, Krishna, Krishna, save me. Right? So Krishna goes to Varuna Loka, and Varuna pays obeisances. He becomes very pleased that, my dear Lord, you have come here. Supreme Personality of God, you have come to me. I'm so happy. So tell me what is the service that I can do to you. Okay, he says, release my father. And he releases the father. He releases, I'm so sorry. Our servants did not know that this is your father. Generally, whoever comes, so late, we actually take them away like this. So like that, that's a pastime, right? And there's another pastime here. It says, among the departed souls, Aryama. Okay, there's something called as Pitruloka. Pitruloka is like a staging area. Okay, some people, after the death, sometime they'll be in the Pitruloka. That's why we are doing the Shraddha ceremony and all, because we are assuming that it will go to the Pitruloka. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yama Dharmaraj. Yama is often misunderstood as actually a pure devotee. So he is a son of Lord Surya Bhagavan, sun god. Right? Yama is a son. So one day what happened was, when sun god was in union with his wife was blinded by the light. She was so scared, terrified. So he said, sun god cursed that you're going to get a son whom everybody will be scared to see, is Yama. Then the wife of sun god will request, and then sun god will say, okay, you'll get a daughter. By seeing that daughter, people will not have to see your son. Who is the daughter?
Yamuna.
So if you see Yamuna, if you take bath in Yamuna, you don't have to go to Yama, right? You don't have to see the Yamalok. So actually often Yama is misunderstood. Yama Dharmaraj is very strict, but is a pure devotee of Krishna. In the Bhagavatam, there is a detailed story of Yama Dharmaraj. You know what pastime is connected with Yama Dharmaraj in Bhagavatam? Which pastime is Yama Dharmaraj connected? Yama Dharmaraj instructions to his Dutas.
Ajamila Prabhuji.
Ajamil pastime, right? So what happens in the Ajamil pastime is that, okay, there was a righteous Brahmana who comes and falls down in the association of a prostitute, he becomes a dacoit and gives up his wife and ailing parents and marries this prostitute and has a lot of children with him, with her. And when he becomes very advanced in age, about to die, the servants of Yama come there to arrest him, to take his life air out of his body, to take him to Yamaloka. At that time, he sees his son Narayana, small boy Narayana, and he says, Narayana, for the time of death. And then immediately Vishnudutas will come. And then the Vishnudutas will stop the Yamadutas and say, no, he has uttered the name of Narayana, Supreme Lord's name, at the time of death, and he has become completely purified. Now he is eligible for liberation. What to talk about punishment and going to Yamadharmaraj? Then the Yamadutas become very confused. They say, this is not what we were taught. First of all, we thought Yama is the topmost personality in this world. He is the death. But who are you, first of all? How are you stopping us? Second of all, what were we were taught was Veda Pranihito Dharma. Religious principle is whatever is given in the Veda, that is religious principle. If somebody violates Veda, it's sinful reaction. Follow Veda, it is pious reaction. He has violated this Vedas. So he is eligible for punishment. Then that's Vishnuduta says, Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranito. Dharma, the religious principles, is dictated by the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. The topmost devotion, the topmost principle of religion is to surrender to Krishna. And he has uttered the Lord's name, Antakale Chamameva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram Yaprayati Samadbhavam Natyanatra Samshayah. There is no doubt anybody who chants the name of Lord at the time of death will be taken to Lord. So he is eligible for liberation. You can please go and ask your master. So these Yamadutas go to Yama and ask them, so who is the Supreme Lord? We thought you are Supreme. And what is this chanting of the names at the death? That time Lord Yama explains, Yama is one of the 12 Mahajanas. Okay, he is a pure devotee. So Yama is very kind towards the devotees. Okay, he is very strict towards non-devotees, but not towards the devotees. The devotees never go to Yamaloka. Yamaloka is not the route for the devotees. Okay, so Yamadharmaraj says, this person was a very sinful person, but Lord Vishnu is a Supreme Lord, and whoever chants his names is very pious. Please do not touch them. Okay, and then he says, this person has chanted the names of Vishnu. That is better than all kinds of any Prayaschita. It is the best Prayaschita. So he has done the best of the atonement possible he has done. So leave him alone. Like that. And never ever touch any devotee. Do not go, if you see any devotee wearing kanti, or if you are seeing kanti mala, tulsi mala, wearing tilak. If you see a devotee, don't touch them. This is my instruction, standing instruction he gives. Lord Yamaraj. Also one more pastime of Yamaraj. How many of you know that? Yamaraj pastime, Lord Krishna, in Krishna Leela, Krishna goes to Yamaraj. And what happens next? Why?
Sandipani Muni's son.
Yes. Krishna goes to Sandipani Muni to study in Ujjain. So he goes to a teacher and he's learning studies. He's going to school. Because Krishna, if he doesn't go to school, then what will happen? Right? Yad yad acharati shreshthas taddat eve taro naraha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. All of us will say what? We'll say, Krishna did this, therefore we are doing this, isn't it? Everybody says that, no? Krishna visited this temple and worshipped this demigod, therefore we will worship this demigod. Krishna did this, therefore we will do this. Krishna doesn't go to school, we will also say we will not go to school. Krishna didn't go to school. So Krishna went to school. But only 64 days, not like us. We are spending 16 years, 18 years, 20 years, 24 years, sometimes 30 years also in education. Correct? Krishna studied only 64 days. 64 days, 64 arts. Finished. And he told, what is a Guru Dakshina I can give? It's a very important instruction. Okay, very nice. Recently I've heard this. When you learn something from somebody, you're supposed to give Guru Dakshina. That is I was recently hearing. There are 3 ways in which we can take learning from somebody. Pushkalena dhanenava. That means we should give a lot of money to the person who has taught us something. Okay, we have to give a lot of money. Or the second thing is we have to serve them. Or we should serve them. Just like how Krishna used to go and bring some wood and sticks to him, everything. Should do service, menial service, doing this service. Or Vidyaya Vidyacha. That means third one is, you teach me something, I will teach you something in exchange. Exchange education. These are the only three ways of learning, it is said. This is the three etiquette of learning. Okay. So Lord Krishna went and asked Sandipani Mani, what is it that I can give you? Please ask. You ask me, I will give you anything. You ask for our life also, we will give you. He says, Sandipani Mani. Sandipani Mani says, because you are the Supreme Lord, I understand that you are Supreme Lord. That's why I'm asking you this, which is impossible. My son has died. I want my son back. My son was actually, he drowned in the ocean and he died. So Lord Krishna goes to Yamaloka and meets Yama, right? Imagine this. Is this possible by any human being to go to Yamaloka and negotiate with Yama and bring any person? Do you know any story like this? Is it possible? This
Prabhuji,
one story.
Savitri.
Savitri negotiated with Yama. That was when her husband was killed and was being dragged. Sati Savitri, she goes and she speaks nice religious principles to Yama and requests him back. And Yama becomes very pleased by her and sends husband of Savitri back, right? But here Krishna, he's gone to Yamaloka directly, right? He went to Yamaloka directly and Yama comes out and he becomes very pleased that, oh my God, Supreme Personality of Godhead has come. My Lord has come. Imagine, somebody who is like, let us say, the spiritual master has posted one disciple somewhere in a remote area. Okay, let's say Prabhupada posted somebody in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a very materialistic place. Okay, but Bhurijan Prabhu and his wife were very nicely doing work there. But when Srila Prabhupada came there, they became so happy that finally our spiritual master has come. Right? So like that, when Yamadharmaraj saw Krishna coming, he became so pleased. Krishna has come. Okay. What can I do for you? He says, yeah, please send this son of Sandipani. And sends him back. Sandipani comes back the same. Sandipani Muni's son comes back. Right? So we have to understand who is Krishna. Okay. It's very important. Krishna is not an ordinary person. Ordinary people cannot go to Yamadharmaraj and negotiate. Yamadharmaraj does not negotiate. For the non-devotees, he looks very, very dangerous. Okay, the description is given Garuda Purana. He looks very dangerous. Okay, there's no question of negotiating. As we see some funny movies which are being made, he's not at all funny. Yama. Okay, he's very, very fierce and very dangerous. Okay, for the people. He's very strict also, and the punishments are too unimaginably scary. The punishments in the Yamaloka, right? So sinful people are taken to that. So Krishna is saying that among the dispensers of law, I am Yama. Should I say I'm among the dispensers of? Yeah, I will take the last verse and then we'll stop. Sorry, we are getting a little late. We'll finish this last verse. Prahladaschasmi daityanam kalakalayatam aham mruganam cha mrugendrehom vainateyascha pakshinam. Among the Daitya demons, I am devoted Prahlad. I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda. So Diti and Aditi are two sisters. The sons of Aditi are called Adityas and the sons of Diti are called Daityas. All the Adityas are the devotees of the Lord. All the Daityas are atheistic. Although Prahlad was born in the family of Daityas, he was a great devotee from his childhood. Because of his devotional service and godly nature, he is considered to be representative of Krishna. There are so many subduing principles, but time wears down all things in this material universe and so represents Krishna. Of the many animals, the lion is the most powerful and ferocious, and of the million varieties of birds, Garuda, the bearer of Lord Vishnu, is the greatest. Okay? So here, Prahlad Maharaj's story, we have to understand, how was Prahlad born? Prahlad is a great devotee, is Bhakta Shiromani. We say Bhakta Shiromani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, we have to always read this Prahlad Charita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read Prahlad Charitra 300 times. So it's not that we should read Gopi Gita or Rasa Panchaka. Like some people jump into Rasa Panchaka and say, we will read the ecstatic dance of Gopis. No, we don't have that qualification. We should be reading Prahlad Maharaj's story. How he had unflinching faith towards the Supreme Lord. And we complain about small things. My family is not favorable. We are not from a devotional family. I cannot take devotional life because my family. This is all nonsense. Here, Prahlad Maharaj, he had a death threat. Not only threat, he was literally being killed multiple times repeatedly. But he did not give up the instructions of a spiritual master. He never gave up the spiritual path. He simply followed the instructions of his spiritual master, and he was also giving instructions fearlessly to his father that you also become a devotee like that. So he was not scared of anybody. So that is how we should take inspiration from Prahlad, right? That's why Krishna is saying, among the Daityas, I am the devoted Prahlad. Prahladas chasmi Daityanam. Okay, so actually generally the Daityas are all atheistic people. Devatas are all devotees. But how did Prahlad born here? There's a story. I'll tell the story and we'll close it, okay? Once what happened was, Kashyapa had many wives. Diti, Aditi were one of the important wives. Aditi is the mother of all the Devatas. So Aditi, what she does is, she does a very nice Kshira, there's a very nice Vrata she does, Kshira Vrata or some Vrata she does, okay? Punyaka Vrata or something like that. So based on that Vrata, Lord Vamana is born to her, and the Devatas are also born to her. So, but Diti doesn't have children. So one day what happens is she approaches Kashyapa Prajapati in an odd time, that is during the sunset time. At sunset time, husband and wife are not supposed to be doing a union, because at that time Lord Shiva will be going along with his Preta Ganas. So at that time, because there is the union, so Kashyapa Prajapati will say that you will get worst demons in your womb. So then she will become very sorrowful and she say, I'm so sorry, please do something. So Kashyapa Prajapati will say, okay, fine. You will have all the demons will be born to you, but two among the best of the best of the best devotees will be born to you in your family, in your lineage. Who are those two?
Bali and Prahlad.
Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. Right? Prahlad Maharaj is the son of first Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyaksha will be born. From Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj is born. Right? And then Prahlad Maharaj's son, Virechana's son is Bali Maharaj. So this pure devotees, the best of the devotees, the great devotees, Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj are born among the Daityas. And Krishna is saying, among Daityas, I am the Prahlad. Among subduers, I am time. Kala Kalayatas Chasmi. Kalayatam means subduer. Among all that which subdues Kala, time is very powerful. Time can finish everything. There have been so many dynasties, there have been so many kings, great kings. So once upon a time, this celebrity was so great. Once upon a time, this family was so great. But now on the streets. But now, nothing. Right? Now nobody even remembers what happened to that town, that city, which was once upon a time, which was a capital of India. Now it is not even a city, it's not even a town, not even a village. It's such an abandoned place. Correct? So time is so powerful. And among the beasts, I am Mrugendra, Aham. Among all the animals, the king of the jungle is, the lion is the king of the jungle. Lord Narsimha, what is the face of Lord Narsimha? Lion. Right? It's called Narasimha. You say Narsimha. Simha is a lion. So Narasimha. Right? So that's Mruga. So yeah, among the beasts I am the lion. Among the birds I am Garuda. I told you the story of Garuda. Among all the, Garuda is the bearer of Lord Vishnu, is the greatest. Okay, there are so many birds, but the best of them is Garuda. So always Lord will be standing on the shoulders of Garuda. When Lord Vishnu comes, he will come on Garuda. Or Lord Krishna also comes in the Garuda. Garuda is their vehicle. Okay. So that is Garuda, very great personality. Okay, he's such a pure devotee. He's such a great servant. He's one of the pure devotees of the Lord. All the Vaishnava temples, you see two people on the outside. Who are the two? One is Garuda, other is
Garuda and Hanumanji.
Garuda and Hanumanji. You see Garuda and Hanumanji. So the great devotees of the Lord. Very dedicated to the Lord. So we have to take inspiration from them. So today what did we understand? So what do we understand today? Okay, let's just summarize quickly. So we saw today, we started with we saw the churning of the ocean of the milk, right? What we learned today was we should not become proud like Indra, first of all. And when necessary, we should always follow the instructions of Lord Vishnu. We should not be like the Asuras who neglect Vishnu. We should never neglect Vishnu. We should be actually surrendering to Vishnu. We should become pure devotee of Vishnu. And we saw how Lakshmi always chooses only Vishnu. So we should not try to independently worship Lakshmi. Actually, it is said that if you independently worship Lakshmi, Lakshmi doesn't come, it seems. Actually, she doesn't come. Instead, she will send her elder sister, okay, who is called Daridra Devata. Okay, she will send her. So we should not worship Lakshmi independently. We should worship always with Vishnu. Wherever there is Vishnu, there is Lakshmi. So if you become a devotee, Lakshmi will be always with you. That is the way to worship Lakshmi, not independently like the non-devotees. And what we have seen is how this Vajra came, how Dadichi Maharaj was so detached that he was ready to give up his body also when requested by the Devatas, right, for the pleasure of the Lord. And we have also seen how Lord Shiva, for the pleasure of the Lord, took the Hala Hala Visha and saved everybody. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, how a devotee is so compassionate for everybody in the world. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, right? And we've seen how, among the procreation, Kandarpa is not meant for, this sexual attraction is not meant for pleasure, but it is meant for procreation, for good population, right? And we've seen Ananta, how Ananta is such a great devotee, how we are supposed to be serving the Lord. We should have the service mentality. And how I told you the story of how Lord went to Varuna and brought his father back. We saw the story of how Lord went to Yamadharmaraj and brought the sons of Sandipani Muni. We heard how we should be dedicated to the spiritual master. This is very important lessons we are learning today. Okay.
Prabhuji, Varuna's pastime also came when Hiranaksha went
Yeah.
down to, there also
Hiranyaksha
Varuna
goes
was.
to Varuna and challenges him and says, "Come fight with me." Varuna says, "I'm a little bit old. Just go and fight with the Supreme Lord. Go and challenge him. He will fight with you." Right. That's right, Maharaj. So, yeah, and we saw Yama also is a pure devotee of the Lord, right? Yama doesn't touch people who are devotees. Okay, when we become the devotee, Yama will become very pleased. This is a nice pastime, or Guru Maharaj says. Okay, this is a real story. Okay, there was a family who were all devotees of ISKCON and Krishna consciousness. They were chanting and all. But the father, okay, he was not a devotee. Okay, he was always saying, "Hey, Hamesha Hare Krishna karta rehta hai." As like that, he used to be mocking and very, very critical about them. One day, what happened was he got some heart stroke and he saw some people coming out of the walls, very dangerous, ugly looking. They were coming and they were about to kill him and take him away. And somehow they left him. They said, "Okay, leave him." Okay, and they left. Then he started shouting. After he went, "Where is the bead bag? Where is the bead bag? Bring me the bead bag. Give me the bead bag." And start chanting Hare Krishna. And he became devotee from then on, instantly. Right? So because he saw, I'll show you actually a live video story. This one person who was taken to hell and he was tortured in the hell and sent back. And he became a devotee. I'll show you his interview also is there. There was a person who was sent to hell and he was tortured there, sent back. And his hand also is like completely eaten, something like that. He'll show that also. He'll show like that. There's an interview in Hare Krishna TV. So our Guru Maharaj also says, we should not wait for, Yamadhar Maharaj to come and take us away. And that time we should not be chanting Hare Krishna. We should start now. Right? So that's the point. So we saw that, and we saw the story of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, I told you that, we should always hear the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj and Narsimha. 300 times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard. Always hear this pastime again and again and again. Bhakta Shiromani, how he has so much of faith in Krishna. And we should not be complaining that I don't have a conducive place to do devotional service. This is all excuses. When Lord Krishna will come and tell me, I will then do his bhakti. This is too much. This is too much. Are you expecting that Krishna will come and tell, "Come, become a devotee"? This is too much, isn't it? Don't you think so? It should be the
He has
opposite.
already told us, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Man manabhav madbhaktu.
Yeah,
We
he's
better
already told
listen.
him. It should be the opposite, right? It should be the opposite. We should be serving Lord so much that he becomes merciful. Not that he will become merciful and he will say, come, 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 I need you, you're so special, come. Krishna is saying, if you want to get rid of the birth and death, you become a devotee. Otherwise, you stay here. He's telling, no problem, stay here. If you like repeated birth and death, stay here. Simple. So Krishna will not come personally and tell us instruction that come, chant Hare Krishna, I will take you. He's telling in Bhagavad Gita already. Right? This is all very bad mentality, according to me. Okay, we should not wait for Yamaraj to come on the deathbed and then I will realize this is all very bad mentality. Devotees should not have this mentality. Okay, we should be in the opposite mentality. How can I serve Krishna? How can I serve Krishna? Like that we should be in that mentality. Prahlad Maharaj and Garuda, so many beautiful pastimes we saw here, right? Garuda also, how he is serving the Lord, right? You should become the servant of the Lord first. Become the servant of the Lord and become the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Okay, that is the conclusion. We'll stop here. Sorry for the delay, devotees. Hare Krishna, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranams. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare